back to On the Workbench. Today we're going to be taking a look at the CleanStream Pro HEPA reusable, washable HEPA wet dry vac filter for a Craftsman or a rigid vacuum. So this is marketed as a aftermarket replacement for the paper vacuum filters that are sold by Rigid or Craftsman, or perhaps more accurately Emerson, who I believe to be the OEM. This product is marketed here as being great for drywall dust and to feel a non-exclusive, or the exclusive non-stick surface from the inventor of Gore-Tex fabric. In the box, there's nothing else but the filter. On top, just some a little bit of instructions here for cleaning the filter by simply tapping or shaking the filter out to restore optimal airflow. Remove filter and tap cap against a hard surface to loosen debris. Additional debris can be removed by rinsing the outside of the filter with running water. So if you've got a lot of fine dust to be able to get rid of, this might be something for you rather than having to go through paper filters. That this is marketed as supposedly lasting longer and easy to clean, and even has a picture here of it being rinsed off under a hose to be able to clean off. When you look inside the filter, it's got a rigid metal mesh here on the inside just to reinforce it, to keep it from collapsing. And then on the outside here, we've got the pleats on the filter. And so then when I touch this here, it's definitely a lot slicker and a lot smoother than what the paper filters are. That's not surprising, especially if it's washable. So I'm at least very hopeful that this will be a nice upgrade to my vacuum. So let's take a look at the installation process on this filter and see if it'll fit my vacuum. Okay, so here's my dust deputy cart that I've got set up here. So normally, most of my dust gets collected into the 5-gallon bucket over here. Now on occasion, I've been known, especially when I'm running my planer, I might use my table saw quite a bit, but usually with my planer, if I get a little lazy, the dust will back up through here. I'll have 5 gallons of dust there, and I'll have to fill up in my shop vac. But I've been trying to keep a HEPA filter on it, just to keep the fine debris kept in there. So this is the Craftsman 8-gallon stainless steel upright vacuum. And then in here is the filter, and this is the filter as it looks right now. This was originally one of the green paper HEPA filters. And so you can see there is some residual debris on here. Because like I said, occasionally I've been known to be just a little lazy and not empty my bucket as quite as often as I should. And so I replaced this filter last probably about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And so otherwise it looks pretty good. I usually shake this out periodically every month or two to get some of the loose debris out. On the inside here you can see it still looks, you can still see that green color, but I just want to see if I can upgrade my vacuum and go with something that will help both protect the vacuum and improve airflow. So if we look at these side by side, you can see where the other one here, the new Gore one here, is a little bit slightly larger on the outside. If you look side by side, it looks like the area of the surface material is probably about the same. I didn't count the number of pleats on either one of these. The older one has no metal mesh inside to prevent collapsing. And there's a rubber piece at the bottom. At the bottom of this one, there's a little extended piece where there's supposedly the bolt is supposedly not needed. And so supposedly I should be able to push this right on without any problem. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the nut. And let me just try pushing it on. And so as I push it on, it looks like that actually does push on perfectly. Let me put this off and maybe try to store the nut actually on the end of that fitting there. So we can get a chance to see what the removal process for this would be like. Whenever it comes time to clean, it's definitely got a nice solid fitting here with this rubber gasket around the top. And so I'm just going to see about taking the screw on cap so I don't lose that in case I ever go back to a paper filter in the future. I'll just drop that right on the end. And that should get stored right in the bottom of this little larger end here. And then I'll just press this right on just like that. And now I've got my nice clean new vacuum filter. If I was worried about dust collecting in here, it looks like because of the larger bottom area, it would slightly reduce the capacity of my vacuum, but I'm not terribly worried because I'm using a dust deputy. And so now with that on, let me turn on the vacuum and hear how it sounds. So with the new filter on, I don't see anything that indicates that it creates any sort of weird whining sounds or that the change in airflow will be different, but I can't wash this filter here because it's made out of paper, and so I'm going to trash this filter. I saved the nut, and that was able to store on there just fine, and I'm not sure I really have a reason to keep this filter out. It's obviously trapped some of the fine dust here that otherwise would have gotten loose in my shop, and so, but this is obviously degrading the performance of my vacuum, and I want to just keep my vacuum working as well as I can, so it's time for a new filter, and I thought I'd go with the more premium option to see how that would work this time, since I'm not replacing these filters as often as most people do because of the dust deputy system. So now this is going to get headed into my circular file cabinet in the corner of my garage. Hope you enjoyed this video, and have a great day.